Haya, tunaanza 1 2 3 and 20.
Hi everyone, good afternoon wherever you are. This is Shakaina TV, and as always at the coach, we are here with you and our guest here. Today we have an amazing guest. She is a bit shy, but she'll have to advance, and she's just looking all over the place wondering, how am I today? But yes, like always, welcome to the coach, and I am your host, Stacy Auko. Like always, we always have different topics talking about different things, and today we are going to talk about child trauma. So I will wish to let you know that please follow us on our social media pages. That is Facebook, Shakaina TV, Shakaina Radio, and YouTube, Shakaina TV. And we spread this information, we spread this education, we spread the gospel to all over the world. For the sake of that person who is not able to be here with us live, you sharing it is very important. And also, you subscribing and liking our videos and also clicking on the notification bell will be very important, because you show that you're part of us. Otherwise, always leave a comment down there to let us know what is your thought. What do you think about today's topic? What do you say? What do you have to say about it? And if you have any question, or if you have any idea that you want us to tackle or to talk about in our next segment, it will be a very, very, very interesting thing. And that is just to show that you are part of our family. And yes, we welcome you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, karibuni sana wherever you are. And so today, I and my friend here, we are going to talk about child trauma. Okay, and child trauma has been really affecting most of our children for a very long time, and I felt it is important that we talk about this thing that sometimes parents we are not keen about it. Sometimes we feel like children are children. Sometimes we feel like they're not supposed to have a lot of things in their mind. Like with the way we have been talking about mental health, the way we have been talking about how to deal with it, the therapies, the way we have been talking about the self-esteem and self-control, we find that in the age bracket, we can see that children are part of it. And now we're talking about the child trauma, because it is happening in our society. It is affecting our children. It is affecting most of the children that we can't even think about it. From the age of 0 to 18, yes, they are children. Part of that, they are teenagers, but it is affecting them. So we come to know that child trauma is a scary, dangerous, or violent act. Anything that is dangerous, anything that is scary, anything that is violent, that is threatening their lives, that is threatening any bit of their lifestyle, that happens to your child. This happens, like maybe danger, violent, any scary thing that threatens a life of a child. It is trauma. And this happens from the age to 0 to 18. A child who is 1 year old can be traumatized. A child who is 6 months can be traumatized. A child who is 7 years can be traumatized. He might look little, he might look a child, but the trauma is very evident. Like right now, my friend here, she feels traumatized a little bit because she has not been to on set before. So she's like, how can I escape? How can I? But she will have to adapt. And okay. So back to our child trauma, we find that these events are very scary to a point that you'll find we have children who will talk about it. We have those that will just keep quiet, because if this child, he or she, has passed through a trauma, she will not be able to talk. We have those that speak. We have those that can say something. We have those that can we have those that can be able. Let me take her down. She's shaking here. Okay. So like I was saying, for a child sometimes, not all will say. We have those that will talk about it because they're very open. We have those that will not say anything at all. We have those that it will torment them to a point that they will not be passing a certain route. They will not speak to a certain person. At least that is an idea or a heads up that there's something wrong. Why is it that when I send my child to a certain shop and she has to pass through this way, she wouldn't want to go through that way? What is the reason? Why is she behaving like that? Or why is he behaving like that? So that is always a reason, that is always a problem that you as a parent, you need to find out why. Okay? Or maybe you find that your child all of a sudden is just quiet. When he comes back from school, he tells you that he doesn't want to go back to school. He doesn't want that school. He prefers not to be in that school. It is part of the traumatization that you as a parent really need to figure it out. And that's why today we want to talk about it. So let's see the types, maybe one way or another. Like this type is the type of event that may also happen to someone your child knows, and your child is impacted as a result of seeing or hearing about the other person being hurt or injured. Yes. Okay. So when this type of experiences happen, your child may become very overwhelmed, upset, and feel helpless, which is very true. Okay. So this type of experiences can happen to anyone at a time and at any age. However, not all events have trauma impacts. Yes, not all events, but this gap, this trial gap that you need to identify yourself, or you need to identify your child, that he's helpless, that he needs an attention that needs to be tackled immediately. That is now where you feel that your child cannot do it again. A state that he or she is, and the mind and the mental ability is now becoming scary. That he or she cannot talk about it, he's helpless, he's crying, he cannot go this, he cannot do that. So parents, be aware. So what are the traumatic events that a child can face? We have said that trauma is now when it's a danger, it's like something to do with danger, violence, scary events. So an event can be traumatic when we face when we fear, or we face the witnesses that have threatened your life. Like even you as a person, maybe you have an enemy somewhere, and then this road that you've been passing, or just something, and then he or she threatens you. You'll feel threatened, of course. You'll have fear, of course. You'll not be okay, of course. You see. So that is one of the things that you have seen the person who is threatening you. You have seen the person who is putting your life in danger. Okay? That brings trauma. And when this happens, it causes emotions such as fear, loss, and distress. It causes fear, loss, and distress. Sometimes people experience this type of traumatic event in a very strong negative emotion in reaction to experience, or because the person may not have the ability to protect themselves. You cannot protect boldly, so you have the fear. You cannot deal with it. You have the fear, you are distressed, you are traumatized to an extent that you cannot do anything. And that is when you find that your child is not able to tell you. Your child cannot say, hey mom, and so has bullied me in school. Mom, I'm having this experience that so and so, Brian and Kevin, used to beat me in class. I cannot walk, I cannot go and have lunch in school. Why? Because whenever I go and have lunch, they take my food and throw away. He cannot say it because every day he's meeting this person. Every day he's witnessing this person. Okay, so it is very, very important that you as a parent, you really need to know, is my child under trauma? Does he look traumatized? What is really happening to him or her in school? Is he okay? When he's playing with kids, is he okay? Because you'll find your child, whenever it becomes now tough, it's when he's avoiding his friends. He excludes himself, he stays alone, he does not talk, he does not play well. So it is an alarm that we need to work on it as a parent. We've had a lot of incidents on social media that a child died because of bullying, a child died because of 1 or 2, 3 things. Because these are the people that we call they fear and they have distress. For them to speak about it, it is not able. So that is what we are talking about today, to see how we can deal with this. Another instance, it's a violent family, a family that is full of chaos. Father and mother are fighting every day. You are putting distress in this child. You are putting a lot of uncomfortability in this child. That he cannot be happy. He'll always be in distress. This child will not want to come back home. But he doesn't have an option. He will decide to come back home. And that is why you find there's a lot of street children. Because they've decided, I'm not going back home. Why? It is a war zone. Okay? It is a war zone. There's World War II happening there. So he prefers to just stay outside or become a street boy. And this is one of the things that makes these children become street children. Have you asked yourself why? Why they tend to have that thing? Why do they choose to become street children? This is one of the reasons. Child traumatization. And I'm urging parents to be very keen on that. It is very, very key. Another thing is when a child is having this poor self-esteem. This is brought by the environment along him or her. It is brought by the environment along him or her. Like that he develops poor self-esteem, like low self-esteem. Whenever he sees this, he does not like it, he becomes traumatized. And as a parent, you really need to know your child. If he's this kind of a child who is hyper, and then he does not do what he used to do, you need to be close to your child to understand what is really happening. Do not allow your child to be traumatized. Do not allow your child to have mental health issues. Remember, for you to have mental issues, it's not a must for you to run mad. Remember, that is what we talked about the other day. You don't have to become mad and walking on the streets with the litters all over your head and you're looking like a madman. Mental health, people are walking outside here with suits and they're having mental issues. To a point that now you get depressed. So let us look at that, because we taught ourselves that even children, they have mental issues. Children get trauma, they get traumatized in different occasions in our society. So as a parent or as a guardian, you need to take care of that. Yes, maybe others, it's important to take consideration how these events may have made an impact. Look upon the consideration. What is to be considered is, if I as a parent have been neglecting my child, if I as a parent have not been careful, if I as a parent have not been giving an ear to my son, then I need to do, because this is now the impact that has brought. You don't know your child that when he tells you or she tells you, I don't know that school, you'll be like, why? You have to go and learn, because in our time we didn't choose ourselves for school. You are lucky to go to this school. You have to go to that school. You see, when your son comes and say, hey mom, I cannot work with this, you'll be like, no, why? This is our family friend. Her mother is my friend. His father is also our friend. You have to work with him. You have to play him. He's a role model. He performs well in school. You are entangling your child to a point that he cannot be free to you. He cannot tell you one-on-one that this, you will not even understand. Is he traumatized? Yes, sometimes you'll have this so-called judgment that now my son is refusing to go to a certain school, like maybe say Alliance High School, because he feels there's pressure and the teachers are on them, on their neck, they have to perform well. No, what about the surrounding? That is why we have visiting day, that is why we have general meetings in school and class meetings in school for parents and students. You know how your child is doing. That is the main essence, to know what is the problem. Okay, so I'm urging parents, be close to your children. Do not allow your child to suffer from any mental issue. Do not allow your child to suffer from any distress. Okay? Always be ahead. Work with him. Hold his hand. Work with your child in any step he's taking. Moving to another class. Do you have a friend? How are your friends? Which type of game do you play? When he comes back from school, did you play with your friends well? Yes, you'll see, like the next day he will come and say, Mom, my friend Simon, I didn't like what he did. He did this and this. You're bringing him close. At least solve with him that issue, and then tomorrow he will go and solve the issue with his friend Simon. Okay, so let us solve this as parents, to make sure that our children are not suffering from trauma. Our children are not suffering from distress. Our children are having a conducive environment for you to give him or her an ear, which is very, very, very important. So today, guys, I'm just here to encourage parents that it is not all about you taking a child to big school. It's not about you to take your child to a big institution. It's not about you to make your child eat any kind of meal they want. It is about minding their physical interest, emotional interest, psychological interest, because we came to know that this is a triangle. They work hand in hand. If I am not physically fit, I will not be able to do some tasks. And when I'm not able to do some tasks, it will affect my psychological way of life. And then when it affects my psychological life, I feel like this is not possible. It becomes now emotional. I am now not happy. I am sad. I am stressed. It is a triangle. It works hand in hand. It moves together. So do not, there's this age bracket of our parents that they used to say that children don't have stress. Children cannot be traumatized. So many ways. For instance, child abuse, child violence. Child abuse like rape, beating and everything. Child violence, which makes a child even decide to go away from home and become a street children. Or others are taken by foster care. It is very traumatized. We have yes, children staying in a foster care. It is good for those who are homeless. But now you'll find that it is stressful. That I can imagine I used to have my dad and mama there, but I have to come and stay in a foster care or in a children's home so that I may stay happy. Or in other words, yes. But now it is not okay mentally. It is not okay. It drains even you as a person. It drains you. So I'm urging each and every parent